What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, in this video, I want to just talk about some stuff, man. Well, actually, just really one topic. I want to talk about Russell Westbrook. Tonight, he had a phenomenal individual performance for the Houston Rockets. He scored 39 points. I think he had something like 6 rebounds and 4 assists. And the Rockets should have won the game tonight if it wasn't for that buzzer beater by Bojanovic. I think his name's Bojanovic at the buzzer. I mean, it was well contested, man. It's just one of those shots that, one of those shots that just go in. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing you really can do about it. This is the thing that bothers me about Russell Westbrook and the way that the mainstream media covers him and the way that fans view him. Like I said, I've said this in the past. I understand a lot of the criticisms of Russell Westbrook. I really do. Okay. I'm a fan of his, but I'm logical. I'm realistic. I do see a lot of the negatives in his game that critics bring up, okay? But this is what bothers me about some of the critics. Now I'm beginning to see that some of the critics have been well-intentioned. Some of the critics, their intentions are good. But there are a lot of haters out there, all right? And no matter what Russell Westbrook does to improve his game, all right, no matter what he does, it's never going to be acknowledged by the haters. Okay, coming into this season, one of the main criticisms of Russell Westbrook is that he can't shoot. All right, he can't shoot from outside. He can't shoot free throws anymore. He's inefficient. He's a turnover machine. He makes bad decisions out there. And I haven't seen all of the Houston Rockets games. I'm not going to act like I've seen every fucking game. But from what I can tell, Russell Westbrook has made a lot of effort to eliminate some of the bad shit he's been doing out there. His shot selection has improved dramatically. He's eschewed the outside game. He's not a three-point shooter. He's never going to be one. All right, people want him to all of a sudden become a great three-point shooter. It's just not going to be in the cards for him. So what he basically has done this year is he's kind of stopped shooting the three. Unless it's a good open look, he just doesn't shoot that shot anymore. It was a period of time where he was taking maybe 6 to 7 three-pointer attempts a game. That's down over the last couple of games. I would say like the last 15, 16 games. Since Christmas, when I've noticed he's altered his game, he's down to 2 3-point attempts per game. He rarely shoots that shot. Over the last 16 games, Russell Westbrook is averaging nearly 32 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, on 51% shooting from the floor. I don't know what people want from him because he's been offensively aggressive as of late. But then they'll say shit like, well, he's hurting James Harden's game by being offensively aggressive. Then when he's taking a backseat to Harden, then these same people will say, well, Russell Westbrook's not providing score. So it's basically what you're saying to me is, it doesn't matter what Russell does. You just fucking hate him. You're not going to acknowledge anything that he does. You know? Just like the media didn't acknowledge that Russell Westbrook just passed 20,000 career points. I didn't really hear that much about it. I heard a lot about when James Harden passed the milestone, his teammate, but not too much when Russell Westbrook did it. Now tonight, Russell Westbrook had, I believe, 39 points on 18 or 33 shooting from the floor. All right, which is very efficient. But people will just say, "Oh well, they lost the game," even though he set up C.J. Tucker for what would have been and what should have been the game-winning three-pointer. It's just to the point, man. It doesn't matter what Russell Westbrook does. He's always going to be criticized. Sometimes I truly believe that Russell Westbrook would have been more appreciated if he had played 20 years ago, in the era of the Stephon Marburys and the Allen Iversons. You know what I'm saying? I think he'd have been more appreciated then than he is now. In this age where it's all about guys that can just shoot threes and have a more offensively or more aesthetically pleasing overall game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that Russell's, the type of game that he has, it's more suited for the NBA maybe 15, 20 years ago. Maybe that's just me, And then a lot of people will say that Russell, hasn't won anything. He can't get out of the first round. He's never going to win a championship. Well, there's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that, if you go by that metric, they're losers too. They never won a championship. All right? I'm just being straight up honest. If people are going to sit there and call Russell Westbrook a loser, then fucking Dominique Wilkins was a loser. Bernard King was a fucking loser. Adrian Dantley was a fucking loser. And by that metric, Allen Iverson's a loser. Tracy McGrady's a loser. Vince Carter's going to be a loser. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of guys who never won championships. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, John Stockton, Karl Malone. Now, I'm not saying that Russell Westbrook is on those guys' level overall. He's not. I think Russell, to me, if I had to rank him historically, I used to have him cracking the top 50. I don't know about that now. I would have him like top 55, top 60. So he's still a great fucking player. But, has he won anything? No. Will he ever win a championship? I don't know what's in the cards for Russell Westbrook. I would like for him to win a championship. It'll be icing on the cake. But, that was one of the big criticisms of Oscar Robertson in his prime, too. His prime years being the entire decade of the 1960s. He won the MVP award 1 year. I think it might have been the 64-65 season. But he never won anything. The Cincinnati Royals were never really that great a team, if my memory serves me correctly, when he played there in his prime years. And he was putting up phenomenal numbers. Until Russell, he was the only guy to average a triple-double in a season. But the Cincinnati Royals, they never won any fucking thing. They never really had any deep playoff runs. So in a lot of ways, there's some similarities between Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook. Now, Oscar's a better overall player, but my point is that it took Oscar hooking up with arguably the greatest NBA player of all time, definitely the greatest basketball player of all time, Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to finally win the title. So that's my thing, man. I just think that a lot of the criticisms of Russell Westbrook is warranted, but I do think it goes way too far. I remember just last year, when Paul George was an MVP caliber candidate before his injuries, and a lot of people was wondering, is Russell a selfish guy? Can he take a back seat? He took a back seat offensively to Paul George, And at the time when the Thunder, at the time when Paul George was having all that MVP clamor, the Thunder had peaked at third in the Western Conference. Now, ultimately, I think they fell all the way down to, I want to say they fell all the way down to the sixth seed or something like that. Or the seventh seed, I can't remember. I think it was sixth seed. But ultimately, Russell Westbrook took a backseat to Paul George. Then the criticism was, well, Paul George needs help offensively. Can Russell Westbrook still score? Can he score? He can't shoot anymore. He can't shoot free throws anymore, which he's rectified this year to absolutely no fucking credit whatsoever to anybody in the media. But that's just the thing. He doesn't get any credit, and he never will. That's just how that is. Some people get all the fucking credit in the world, and some people don't. But I'll say this in closing. One thing that Kobe Bryant said one time that never really gets repeated is one time Kobe Bryant said that of all the players in the NBA, the new stock of guys, he said that Russell Westbrook reminded him of himself more than any other player. That's something that Kobe Bryant said. And another interesting statistic is that when Russell Westbrook passed 20,000 career points the other day, he became only the third NBA player to reach 20,000 career points, 6,000 career rebounds, and 7,000 career assists. The only other two guys to do that are LeBron James and Oscar Robertson. So basically what I'm saying is that Russell Westbrook is a Hall of Famer. Okay, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Is he going to be a top-tier Hall of Famer? No. All right? But he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and he's going to get in the first ballot. And that's just pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? James Harden, to me, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But, of course, the media tends to handle him more with kid gloves than Russell Westbrook. Maybe some of it self-inflicted by Russell, maybe because of the fact that he comes across as gruff and, he's not the easiest interview. He comes across as arrogant to some of these media shields. Maybe that's partially why he doesn't get a lot of good media or fair media coverage. But at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook is a great player, and he will get his just due, and he will get his recognition eventually. That's just my strong belief. But tell me what you guys think.